need to.
And it's not popular with Carlton fans, but it's an ugly part of our game that we do have to eradicate.
Cam Raiders turn. He too falls at the hurdle and misses to the right this time.
Just had him done there. Didn't need that bit.
Jay Clark's thoughts after the game. I mean, he's a major contender for the Rising Star. Suspension obviously would take him out of there. I'm not saying it is, but we'll get more feedback in the post-match with Jay.
The set shot for goal difference in this game really is the difference in the game in some ways.
This is the difference. They're walking the ball down the ground again.
Yep. Cottrell. Smith. Wilson. Mackay. One arm. Hipwood. Neal. Not as sure-handed initially, but he recovered well. Fletcher. Lester and Wilson. Great score from Billy. Cowan. It's in again. It's all Brisbane. Oh, Fletcher dropped it. There's some sights you don't see normally under the lines, and that was another one. McKenna gone. He's tempted to play on. Evans does, and Mackay marks.
That's infectious behaviours, tackle technique, effort, not giving up, inferred pressure with the high ball that should have been taken easily.
Feels like it's just not Brisbane's night, but it is Carlton's. Harry scaring the corporates. 100 up.
Well, I think the move of Eric Hipwood has to be made now. It's got to the point where it's starting to really cost the Brisbane Lions, and it's getting to a point where it could potentially have them out of this game.
This is the 8th time this season Brisbane has conceded 100+ points in a match.
Just Frankie Evans took a risk there too. Looked at the umpire.
The real problem, though, is the midfield, and that's where the Stars live for the Brisbane Lions. They're getting smacked at clearance. 8-2 for the quarter, 4-zip out of the middle.
He's kicked his second multiple goal kick, and nonchalant give from Neal to McCluggage. Oscar Allen, oh, what a rise from Dean. Just didn't quite complete. Jerry couldn't get the ball out, so he just decided to tackle Dunkley, even though Dunkley didn't have the footy. It was clever. Avoided being stuck with the Sherrin. Great tap from Draper. A great tackle from Cripps.
That is fingertips there from Patrick Cripps. They've got to be onto this long hit to the boundary, though.
Cowan watching Charlie this time. Neal deft again. Ashcroft in an instant, and Cameron's got back there. That's a fine effort from Charlie. Just enough metres on the kick. Averaging just over 2 goals a game. Looks like he's about to kick his second. He's missed so many tonight from set shots. Oh, tell you what, that's only just got in. Proverbial coat of paint.
Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman replay here. Some deft touches. Ashcroft so quick hand to foot, and just you've got to make sure when you're defending at a D50 stoppage that you remain with your forward. Good forwards will have one bite at the cherry and come through the stoppage and then roll forward towards the goal square. Charlie did that, and it was a good mark going back with the flight.
It's a big differential there on the pressure, isn't it, in this third term?
That's huge. Just need to keep winning centre bounce clearances. The Brisbane Lions get the game in their forward half.
So how quickly they can string together goals. McCluggage wasn't far off running onto that, but Haynes surging in his big night. Down towards McGovern. He leapt just under the ball. Mackay has Kemp ready and waiting. And still he's thinking team. He's thinking Hewitt. Great spoil reveal. McGovern goes again. Got back towards goal. Cockrell. Hewitt. Just kept calm and collects. Another for the Blues.
He's been awesome, George Hewitt. Oh, I'll tell you what, the ability for Carlton, the unselfish nature in their own forward 50. Players can grab the ball and think they've got a shot. I think McGovern sort of turned back in, and he was the one that could have had a shot. Even that square up from Kemp there.
Yeah.
Like, these type of players, and Cottrell's another one, just that handball there, that shows a team that is completely in sync on offense and unselfish.
Just the sheer delight. Just got to revel in it if you're a Carlton fan.
Well, you just don't see this happen to the Brisbane Lions down back.
No.
The scoring power is quite brilliant from Carlton.
Forwards tap, still up for grabs underneath. Raider. Bailey. Eyes up quickly. Lohman and Morris both capable in the air. It's a little out of sync. Lohman, crafty, got through a couple. Looking for someone to finish. Berry, nominated goal kicker, smothered by Florent. Back at it again as they redouble their efforts. Cottrell made it as tricky as possible. And then the help arrived. Blocked out of there by Hayward. So not just going to stop it, they're going to try and turn it into something beautiful. On the outside, Walsh was running at Lord. Down to half forward. Down to Mackay again. He made sure it wasn't getting near him. Put the stops up. More runners inside 50. Kemp and Leicester. Well done to Leicester that time.
Well, sometimes it comes down to just winning your one-on-ones in your forward 50, and they've won 5 of 9 one-on-one battles tonight in their forward 50, Carlton, against the Brisbane defenders. To put that into some sort of context, they've only won 7 one-on-one contests over the last month of football. So this is a huge day in the forward 50.
Pitnet couldn't get around him there. Hewitt tried to keep the hands clean. That's a fine tackle from Jared Berry.
It was a very good tackle.
Just not allowing them to come through the corridor. I mean, this is... We know that Zorko didn't quite get to the line for this game tonight, but this is where they really miss his bravery. That kick there.
Well, it's bold. Ends up being beautiful. From Fletcher. Through Ashcroft and Ford. Back to Ashcroft. Evans wasn't far off the mark. He'll take his best here from McKenna. He's always had the toe. His little jink and got himself cleared. Down the line, mate. Kick it straight back to Harry.
Speaking about bravery in AFL football, the modern day defender to come off your man to impact the contest in front of you. I mean, that kid there has got it in spades, Harry Dean.
Florent flicks one down to Mackay again. He's gaining in confidence and stature as Harry. Quickly to McGovern. Took 2 to bring it down. Well done. Defensively that time.
So the last 2 inside 50s from Harry. Just needs, at the moment, both players, Kemp and also McGovern are coming up together. They're not separating from their one-on-ones, which has been where they've been able to win those battles in the first part of this game.
He's hurt Leicester.
He is, yeah. It's the last thing Brisbane need at the moment, another injured defender.
He's in real discomfort. Right shoulder. I mean, if I'm Kemp, I'm taking him to the goal square right now. Let's test it out.
Staying about 25, 30 metres out from goal, 20 metres away from this ruck contest. Good again, so eager. The hands were good. Walsh to Lord, to Wilson. From long range, it's a long way off.
It's disappointing. If that goes to the top of the square, you do get that Kemp versus Leicester matchup. It's clearly impacted at the moment. The Docs are getting to him as we speak.
Not. Bailey saw a little opening. Strolls right through it. And again, he's kicked it down to Dean, who didn't quite see it as well as he might have, but recovered. And now Carlin's kick is fine to Lord. Come back into the Carlton team over the last month and playing good footy straight away. Hewitt, and again Mackay. He's leading Eric a merry dance at the
He's
moment.
giving him a bath. That's what he's doing.
You've got to get Eric out of there. I'm sorry, he's just not getting the job done. Maybe go undersized with a Revel or someone like that.
I wonder if Harry's got this in him.
Just to the top of the square. Watch out for Big Pitto. Oh, that fought winning the match there involuntarily from Ashcroft. Evans goes to ground.
This is where you've got to be careful if you're Darcy Fort. You don't get ragdolled by Big Pitto and he shoves you out of the way and grabs the ball and has a shot.
Equal match high lead for Carlton of 36 points, and they're pressing again. Pitnett, McGovern, far off, Lester one arm. Answorth in his 100th game. He wouldn't have imagined it was going to turn out like it is at the moment. Reville outnumbered. That's been the case a lot tonight. A little bit fancy, but he did it well. Through McCluggage, Rayner looking for someone to connect with again. Works his way along the line. Norris a long way from home. Takes the mark. Ambitious kick. Those wrists associated with it. Well done, Evans. Reville, good recovery for the Lions. Neal, sharp with the hands, but straight back to Haynes. And now Akers.
Oh, they're out 40 too.
They are. Kemp's got the half-forward flank to himself. McGovern, he goes more centrally to Pitternet. He can kick it back to Mitch McGovern in the goal square. Eric did well that time. Didn't just spoil. He won the footy before Harry could close it out. So points to Hipwood that time.
Ryan Lester's come off the ground and headed straight down into the change rooms at the dock.
Neal. Berry. Draper's pushed forward. Goes for Morris. Dean left his man.
And that's the courage that you're talking about with Harry Dean, standing toe-to-toe with Draper. And he's got the young star in front of him, Logan Morris, and he goes, no, I need to go here. He does not hesitate when the contest is ahead of him.
Got to see out the last 2 minutes here. Absolutely see this last 2 minutes through. They've let a couple of goals slip late in the second term.
Ashcroft, they'll be aware of the danger that he poses, but Florent just got it out of there quick, smart. Kemp versus Answorth.
Good half contest there from Kemp. Don't get beat on the outside here from contest.
Akers, sharp hands again. See the run across the ground from Cowan. He's got Lord, he's got Ainsworth. So Lord does link up with the ex-son. Yep, just a little dry smile. Back into Lord. So it's taken a little while, but it's in now. And again, Mackay. They might put Andrews to him finally. Again, he's keen to lay it off. Misses the mark. Luggage, Berry. Nice disposal, yes.
Any mark sort of close to 50 metres, take your 30.
Kai, high to the goal square, Draper, Camp, Pitnet. You can see what he was trying to do.
That's a good result for Carlton. Just would have loved to have seen Harry there. Go back, and I know it's on the boundary. I know you want to be a team player, but it's 30 valuable seconds right at the end of the third quarter.
He's sold the umpires before from that far out, hasn't he? From the throw in. Oh, did he? McGovern! Oh, he did! Wow. Game high, 7-goal lead for Carlton.
I hate to say it, it's on Eric again there. You just let him half a metre goal side. Just half a metre there. Just give him a little option to make something out of nothing.
Fair goal.
It's a brilliant goal, isn't it? Just to think your way through that and to perform the skills. He can just do some freakish things, McGovern. Most on record, 38 points from 450 stoppages last week. That is a big, big day, and you see tonight they've just got the one goal, but it's enough.
And they're hungry for more. Wilmot puts a stop to this one. Brisbane has given up 117 points in 3 quarters of football.
Carlton really guarding that corridor, just forcing Brisbane wide.
We've seen a lot of this, haven't we, tonight?
Yeah, it's really quite brilliant. And that does give you the corridor on the way back. If you can keep your opponents wide, that's what Carlton have capitalised on.
90 to 70 marks. Carlton in front.
6 goals for to 4 goals 2 in the second term. And then even better, 6 goals 2 to 2 goals 2 in the third. And Carlton, yes, Carlton lead by 42 points at 3-quarter time in Patrick Cripps' 250th game. And they can jump up into 10th position. And who knows from there? Does September beckon for the Blues and Josh Fraser?
All right, there we go. 3-quarter time, Marvel Stadium, folks, and it's Carlton getting the job done. 18-9, 117, 11-9, 75, the Brisbane Lions. It's about 32 points. My maths serves me correctly. Carlton putting on 6 goals, 2 in that third term. Brisbane Lions, 2 goals, 2. There we go. Carlton got the Lions absolutely rattled in this game. They got some fantastic run and spread, the Blues, and they look dangerous every time they go inside their forward 50. Lions struggling to get it out of their defensive half. The good pressure on Carlton. I tell you what, this is going to be a tough one for the Brisbane Lions to come back from. 32 points of margin. Anything's possible, of course, folks, but Carlton look like they're just playing too good a football this evening to let this one slip. I'm going to have a look at the, this is what it means for the live ladder, folks. For the live ladder, of course, if Brisbane do not win this game, they'll be there on 52 points, staying in 4th position, still with Adelaide to play. So they're a chance at losing 4th position. And, of course, teams like Geelong and Adelaide and Melbourne, Western Bulldogs, Collingwood will all be so happy that Carlton are getting the job done this evening. Of course, for Carlton, if they go out victors in this game this evening, they'll jump up into the top 10. They'll jump up into the top 10 and tell you what, they will be absolutely wrapped jumping into the top 10. Of course, Carlton next week, well, they have to play St Kilda at Marvel Stadium, so that's certainly another winnable game and can cement Carlton into the top 10. Let's just have a look at the goal scorers. So far up until 3-quarter time, there's bags full of goal scorers. Brodie Kemp's got 4 for Carlton. Harry Mackay with 2. Singles to Lewis Young, Jacob Smith. Pinoy McGovern's got 1. Georgie Hewitt, Hayward, Florent, Evans, Dean, Cottrell, and Ainsworth. Tell you what, that's just about the whole squad. And, of course, for the Brisbane Lions, goal scorers to Kai Loman, Charlie Cameron, Will Ashcroft, all with 2. Singles to Cam Rayner, Hugh McCluggage, Sam Draper, Zach Bailey, Oscar Allen. Whew, there's a lot of goal scorers out there tonight, folks. Disposal getters out on the ground. Lockie Neal tops the table for the Lions on 23 with 9 kicks, 14 handballs, 7 clearances. And equal that is George Hewitt from Carlton, 23 touches with 12 kicks, 11 handballs, 6 clearances and a goal. Jacob Smith, Oliver Florent both on 22 touches there for Carlton. Sam Walsh on 20. Will Ashcroft 21 and Josh Dunkley 20. They are your players in 20 and above disposals so far in this game tonight. We'll just have a quick glance at the team stats before the commentators come back. We head down for the bounce of the ball for the final quarter. Just have a quick look at the team stats. Carlton, they're about 48 disposals plus. Inside forward 50s, getting the job done there. They're plus 12. Restricted Brisbane Lions in that third term. Carlton 49 inside forward 50s for 27 scoring shots. That's absolutely fantastic, scoring at more than 1 every 2 times they go in. 20 scoring shots for the Lions, 37 inside forward 50s, so they're both scoring about the same. As you can see, their disposal efficiency really high for both teams, 80 and 79. That's fantastic. And of course, 57, 54 inside. Free kicks, 18 apiece, not too bad. Lions getting the hit-outs done there, 37-19. Clearances, Carlton well and truly on top, plus 10. They're plus 8 out of the centre. That's 19-11, and just a couple around the stoppages. Contested possessions, Carlton plus 18, so they'll be super duper happy with that. And have a look at the targets. Carlton already had 16 marks inside their forward 50. As I said, they're really finding the target well, and their ball is coming into their forwards. Absolutely fantastic. The forwards will be loving that. Looking at the tackle count, well, this is as low as you'll see. 27 tackles, Carlton, 31, the Brisbane Lions, 6 and 6 tackles inside forward 50. Need to lift their work rate. Even both of these sides, just keep putting the pressure on. Even Carlton need to keep putting the pressure on. But there we go. All right, that's enough of me. Let's head back down to the ground where the action is. And, of course, that's the Lions by 42 points. I said 32, but I think it's 42. There we go. It looks like this game is just about in the bag for Carlton, but anything can happen. All right, folks, hey, let's head back down to the action. And the commentators will take us into the bounce of the ball for the final quarter at Marvel Stadium.
Concussion and Ryan Lester was the latest concern here in the third quarter, landed heavily on that right shoulder. I'm being told that he's still in the rooms, he's just getting it strapped up, so hopefully that is the case and we do see him emerge and play out the remainder of the game. They certainly need him, the Brisbane Lions. They've been under the pump down back tonight. So that was Ryan Lester. He didn't seem too concerned, went straight down into the rooms, and I am being told that they've got their fingers crossed. Their hopes are up that he will emerge soon and be right to go. So a bit of concern for Chris Fagan at three-quarter time. What do you think he's thinking? David King, Jack Rewalt?
Well, he knows that he's got some defensive concerns. He's known that all year long, really. I think what it does do, Brisbane Hawthorn next Friday night will be for their place in the top four. And sure, you can win it from fifth, you can win it from sixth. This team's good enough to do that.
Which they've done before.
They have done before a couple of years ago. So look, we know they're capable of doing it, but it's a much more difficult task. There's no doubt about that. And they've got to get their game back, more importantly.
They've got the Suns and the Pies to finish the season after that, but they've got a quarter to go. 42-point margin straight out of the middle. Ashcroft to Rayner. Oscar Allen leads hard into the pocket. Lohman is a deeper and more promising option. Kai can't quite pull it down, but Draper can. Wow.
Well, they're going to roll the dice here, Brisbane. And we know that they can score fast and they can score heavily as well.
And we talked about how handy this man has been as an acquisition this year, just with his ruck work, but his ability to kick a goal or two. He's kicked some big ones here before a goal of the year at Marvel Stadium, but a couple of deep breaths before this kick. It has really been an ordinary display of goal kicking from set shots tonight. 3 goals, 6 for Brisbane compared to 10 goals, 2 for Carlton.
It's been an issue for them in the past.
At times it really has.
They've gone on really bad streaks of their goal kicking being AWOL.
Dirksen to the numbers. Free kick to McKay, as the umpire called it.
Oh, he's been fantastic, Harry Mackay. Just presented. He's been there when they've needed him down the line.
Didn't want to miskick that one. He didn't. Walsh. Haynes has got Cowan as they start to spread out wide. Getting more and more confident at the level in his third season. Cowan. Cripps. Always been handy overhead for a midfielder. McGovern. Well done, Hipwood.
You just can't help but feel that, oh, there's Ryan Lester there. You can just see that shoulder causing him some problems. It's like he's done for the night.
Draper, front position, could dictate terms. Dunkley couldn't get away. Hewitt, Walsh. Ainsworth just buzzing around, waiting for the right way to go forward. Hewitt, Walsh again, shapes it. Oh, McGovern lifts it, well matched by Andrews. Mackay, equal hunger for the footy. Andrews, Ainsworth. Draper, pit net, Rayner. Had some runners off half-back. Neil had to use the hands. He did effectively. Had faith in Ashcroft and now Berry. Got the call from Wilmot. So the progression is okay, but it has given Carlton the opportunity to frame up.
Yeah, and look at them flood the corridor there in the centre square. 6 Carlton players get there immediately. You're not coming through here. You're going to have to go the long way home.
Yeah, just floats it down the line. Loman with his natural buoyancy almost brings it down. Carlton tries to count. Oh, he's aimed out.
No. Oh, Loman's got to be careful.
Well, he's got to be
pointing at the umpire like that. That was a bad decision.
Pay the man behind the old rule, Jack.
Well, the bloke that touches it twice.
Hipwood. Now forward. Sorry, she's still at defence. It has moved on to McGovern. That's amazing.
That's up there with Kemping's touch on the line.
Ashcroft, that went nowhere. So it's not going to be a mark.
Nothing's up there with Kempy's touch on the line.
McElhay, Walsh to Cottrell. He's hit that beautifully to Kemp. What a kick off the left. And Harry just tells Brody Kemp to take your time, son.
Oh, that's the 17th mark inside forward 50. This is a huge number. They're just winning one-on-ones. Their positioning is really proactive, and they're just going at the football. They have no fears for this Brisbane line back 6. They see some vulnerabilities and they're going after them. Put this in the book, Hutto. You love this bloke.
He came here tonight with all sorts of goal-kicking woes in his head, but that's in the past now. Equal career-high night. 5 goals for Brody Kemp.
Toyota, oh what a moment. Sorry, go again there. The Toyota, oh what a feeling moment. I stumbled through there. The Anthony Hudson effect. What was it? He'd had 22 shots and he'd kicked 2 goals, 11.
From his set shots.
Come through tonight and just gone bang, bang, bang. Thank you very much. He started it. He's looking to finish it as well.
We tried to be kind of and not mention the stat tonight, Jack, but now that you've mentioned it, yes. He had,
I thought you were going to go back on that.
But he's taken 4 marks inside 50. He's been terrific tonight, hasn't he?
He really has.
And that's a story as well, because an injury now really affects the premiership chase.
Christian hangs it up there. Cottrell.
Hit the ground.
Berry. 48 points. Berry. Bailey sold McKenna up the river. Oh, it played on. Oh, Hewitt, even a missed kick just about worked for Mackay. Ashcroft. They'll get through this one. Fletcher. Full kick to Cameron. So Brisbane had kicked the first couple of goals in this last quarter. There would have been some nervous Carlton fans, I'm sure, but that first goal surely makes it a bridge too far. Look at the pressure. It's barely over 100. It was early in the quarter so far, so I think it's even out. Bailey suddenly realised he had Akers right there with him, so he had to give and get back to Oscar Allen. Gone through earlier tonight, as we said. He's played since round 7. Former West Coast captain. Signed a 6-year deal with the Lions. Tough kick. He's just missed it to the right.
And they're going to have to look at him potentially behind the ball at some point. I think now with the injury to Leicester and just Eric Hibbert looks at C behind the ball. He's played there before. Oscar Allen. Ty Gallup still suspended for another 2 weeks post tonight.
And there'll be a lot of frustration in that. I mean, that silly action of last week has put this team in this position and exposed Hipwood down back when that's clearly not the preference. Nothing more frustrating for coaches at this stage of the year than players healthy sitting in the stands.
Child, Gunston. That big tall forward line next week as well.
Ashcroft, strength he burst through. Rain at Coward, both eyeing it off. Coward came for the position of strength there. Fletcher to Ashcroft. Far from pure off the boot. Wilson just overplays the hand. He had the backup. He had the confidence of his teammates and in them as well. Ainsworth, Cottrell steps back to the inside so he can kick to the out. And he can kick to Mackay. He did so much right until he didn't. Andrews, back to Dunkley. Just a heave-ho forward. Morris comes marching out. Both hands around it. Incomplete. Allen, Rayner. And that's to nothing.
Just looking at the numbers, I mean, this will be the 8th time for the year they've conceded 100-plus points. And you can say what you like about teams trying to win flags. Only conceded 100-plus 3 times last year and 3 times the year before that. That's the issue right now for the Lions.
Fort on the follow. Chera. Akers off the instep. Good body work, Haynes. Cleared the path for Hayward. Redoubling his efforts was Reveal. He has a 3rd time.
I think this is the cleanest I've seen Carlton with ball use and the ability to pick the ball up off the ground this year as well. They have looked slick.
They've given everything tonight. It's one of those goals early, very handy. Goal early, very handy in this final turn. Cripps was on the move. Instead, it's going Brisbane's way. Dunkley to Bailey. He wants it back here. Zach. Allen cleared his head and just gets away from Morris again. Just ain't happening. Dylan in amongst it. The spoil.
This is a back line that doesn't have Jake Wiedering in it at the moment as well.
Just got a hint of the sort of Rod Carter's about.
It's another name I don't know.
Slight
Come on.
tilt there.
That's harsh. You won't be labelled with that nickname this early in your career.
I think he's just loved at the moment. That's what the Carlton fans feel for young Harry Dean. Rayner. Not enough to be deemed holding the man. Smith gave it to Lord, his great mate, with instructions. Kick it down the line. And McGovern was up there, but will not with that K-Bar desperation. Sees it out.
It's a great half from McGovern.
Harry Dean's a fascination and an interesting conversation for us to think. I mean, he's been challenged with the big names of the competition. He's played a Waterman, Ben King, those types. You know, Logan Morris got him for a couple of goals in round 9. But he's been terrific on, in the rematch tonight against Logan. Is he the rising star or does his teammate have it?
Yeah, Lord's kick to half forward. Oh, little nudge from McGovern. Byrne. Reveal. Oh, what dramatic. As Taylor Byrne went to ground. Not enough to get the umpire to blow his whistle. Ainsworth, there was a way out. And it was Jagger Smith who lines them up. Jagger's it! That might be your answer there, Kingy. The rising of the star.
Well, Evie just mentioned Harry Dean. He says, it's mine. It's mine. Engrave it now. Look at him, he's pumped, and why wouldn't you be? He's been huge tonight. He just totally owned the first half. He's had a bit of a back seat in this second half as the senior guys have taken over a little bit, but that is a moment.
We love seeing players learn from their mistakes too, Kingy. It was a great goal from Jagger Smith. But Kemp on the goal line. No fingers this time. Shepherds it through.
Growth. We're all about growth.
So good.
What a goal.
What a start he is.
6th goal of the season. Carlton lead by 53 points. If you've just tuned in, it's not a mirage.
It's going to be incredibly difficult to deny Josh Fraser. this opportunity now. I mean, they are playing football like we haven't seen. It's a complete model right now.
Cowan. Rayner on the turn. Tries to get through. Ashcroft throws it across the face this time. I wonder what the other three contenders for the job are thinking watching this game tonight.
I'll be cheering for Brisbane. But my gosh.
There's presentations and then there's presentations.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the ultimate presentation.
Just showing the tape.
Yeah.
Walk in Munda. Wilson back to the wing. Walsh muscles his way through to Young. The confidence is spread through. Carlton players old and young. Akers is on the march. Oh, great hunt from Wilmot. Didn't give up, didn't give in. That's the go-go gadget arm there from Harris. Play on, whoops. Ainsworth.
Not sure what Akers was thinking.
Oh, wow. Net comes crashing down.
He might be right. He just took 3 steps too many. He had players leading everywhere. There were options. Good options ahead of him. Just lost his way.
Forgot to kick it, though. They've been tough tonight, too, the Blues. Slick and tough.
Yeah.
Clear behind me, please.
Continue to grind it out here. Hewitt on the move. Bailey whacking away. Fort. Lohman. McCluggage. Rayner. Goals were there. Goals were not found. Dirksen. There's 10 more inside 50s.
Dirksen's had 9 intercept possessions tonight.
Well, they would never have hoped to be missing Jacob Wiedering in the back half of the season, but hasn't it given great opportunity for the other youngsters? Florent, Lord, nearly overflow. Hainsworth's had a go. This Carlton player's out. Oh, he just fumbled. They have them outnumbered deep. They're going to get there eventually. Bird, love him as well, but he's kicked it forward. Oh, Akers has stolen it. Kempy had a chance to kick his 6th. No matter.
Well, look at Harry. Harry's saying, give it to me. I'm bulletproof from here. Oh, it's just great vision. I mean, we talked about it all.
For Blake Akers. And that works as well. It's a matter of by how much, how far the Blues.
Well, that's another one. I mean, that's 58 points now from the defensive half. It's almost double the AFL average. Alarm bells for the Lions, really. At this stage of the year to be so out of sync, and it's not necessarily a back 6 issue. It's a full ground problem. How many times we've seen them just move the ball at will, almost uncontested down the field.
You've just been assaulted through the middle of the ground in the corridor.
Across the line, so free kick going the way of Carlton to Young.
15 individual goals.
Yeah.
Mr. Carlton. That is
trying to add that up.
Yeah,
I couldn't get there.
And Sam Walsh hit the post, didn't he?
Chera. Cripps. Ainsworth. There's one more guy that would love to get a goal out of it. That is the captain at his 250th. Smith to Akers. Again, no shortage of offers. Look at the Blues leading up to the footy. And Byrne, the smallest guy there, takes the mark.
Cripper wants it. Cripper's drifting forward. You need a couple of the senior boys just to get around the group and say, hey, if you get a chance, we at least owe the captain a big send-off tonight.
So Taylor Byrne, they've all had just amazing nights. This young man continues to astound. The Koroit kid, he's kicked his second. And the celebrations just get bigger and better. Nice.
Just the build up again. That man there had been involved in everything. And I think this was a square up kick. That was meant for Kempy after Akers stole one from him.
That's 6 consecutive goals to Carlton.
They've rolled over here, Brisbane.
And their percentage is probably hammering as well, Brisbane, which could be telling. And that's chase for 4th spot. Neil haven't kicked a goal in the last quarter. Dunkley, Allen, back to Dunkley, quickly onto the boot. Dirkson's there as well. And again, holds them up. Not 15 for Akers. Cameron was late to realise that on the mark. And that's a beautiful kick, just the right way. Perfect dimensions to Hayward. It's been good all night.
Been excellent, Hayward.
Gents, Logan Morris has been on the bench for a couple of minutes and he won't come back on. Had a corky, so they're keeping him off. Been a costly night for the Lions. Kitty Coleman concussion. Ryan Lester, that shoulder.
I wouldn't want to come back on against Harry Dean tonight either. I'd stay there.
Jeez, the put-on's not a good sign either.
If you're Carlton, though, Putties are big, Jack.
Sold out, they reckon.
Putties are it. Hewitt, back through the middle, good running from Chera. Waiting, ready to go, Lord. Cottrell. Haven't slipped over, but the recovery was excellent. Under pressure, McKenna. Slapped it off the left boot. Mackay, loose fight. A Young over the same ball. Walsh hasn't kicked one yet. Now he has. Roll up and join the queue. Kick them all that hot.
Batted his eyelid there, Josh Fraser. We saw a smile after the Harry Dean goal as well. But like McGovern just stays in the contest, doesn't give up. He'd slipped just prior to that. It was a horrible exit from D50 there. Sam Walsh's work rate is A+. They're going to put 150 on him here.
Josh Fraser doing his best not to show any emotion. I mean, he must be buzzing.
He's standing there with 4 aces. He's not smirking at all.
Seven straight goals, fought as the search for a Brisbane goal continues. Fell down again, Chera, Smith, Akers, they're spreading. They're teasing them. Look at the kick from Hayward, pure. Hewitt, Mackay, Kemp, got 3 to beat, made the contest, and the commitment, tried to tackle it, just escaped, but not for long. Hewitt again.
He's looking for Cripps, he's on the bench.
Well, that's the last moment we need in the game. Kemp's got the football again.
He scored 150 points twice in 10 years. Against the Kangaroos last year in round 6 when they were battling, in the West Coast Eagles in 2023. So this is a different contender altogether. The Brisbane Lions, 4th on the table coming into tonight.
Roddy Kemp for a career best 6 goals. Not with that one. We'll let him off for that. the conversion early and has been maintained through the game. 13 goals, 3 from set shots.
It'd be a nice amendment to make to your presentation. By the way, we've scored the most we've scored for Carlton for 10 years. It'd be a nice little bullet point.
Yeah. Crowd of over 40,000 people here tonight. Lions fans have come, and there's always get great representation here. I think a few of them might have just headed to the car park. Great effort from Marvel Stadium to be able to turn around 2 for 2 games in the one day. Lohman takes off. 3 bounces. And still had the composure to find Charlie. The intensity's gone. I think everyone's exhausted from what we've seen. Intensity's gone out for the moment.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to vote on the Robert Wolves.
They've only had the 7 goal kickers tonight, Charlie. And the wayward Lions in front of the sticks.
Yeah, nice medal to win the Robert Walls medal for best of field tonight. In honour of the great man, servant of both clubs for many a year. There's a few young contenders too for the Blues, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
I won't ask Jackie's thoughts. He's actually voting on it tonight. So.
The pressure
It's perplexing at the moment. I'm looking everywhere.
Free kick goes the way of Mackay.
There'll be a lot of questions for Chris Fagan. That man there on screen will be one of them. I simply don't think he can play in the back half as a key position back.
Carlton's had 16 goal kickers. Carlton, from our records, and no one has ever had 17.
Who are we going to cheer on there?
Patrick Cripps.
Cripps, isn't it?
Hey, so Cripper's gone forward. That doesn't get past Wilmot. He'll fight it out. And one of their better players brings it back in the middle again. Hipwood launching long. Brisbane still looking for a goal in this final term. It's not happening there.
Get forward, Cripper. Get forward.
Byrne reaching for it. Slowed but not stopped. Lord comes the second time. Into Smith. What design can he put on this kick? Short to Cottrell. Young just retreats momentarily. Lord back to Hewitt.
Akers in a mile of space they get through here.
Levi can't take the mark. Flora. So, well done, Levi Ashcroft. Not rewarded, made an attempt. It's been a bit laborious, this little build-up. It's going to last a little longer.
They do have Cripps one-on-one in the goal square.
Yep. 3 kicks away. And Mackay. Terry.
Come on, boys. 50. 50 metres.
Now, Paddy should just circle around Harry here. He's motioning up.
The crowd's chanting Cripper.
Yeah.
Come on, Harry.
Look at him just trying to sneak up. And
Look at Bruce as
Bruce
well. Come on, Bruce.
Bruce is on him, I think. Look at that. He knows he wants to do it.
Dirk's going to slide forward here and just get one.
Oh, look at that.
He's obliged to have the shot. Brilliantly executed by Harry. That's the 150 up for Carlton.
Well, that's their highest score for at least a decade. Running out of fingers.
You are going deep here into the archives. But see where this 50-metre penalty came from. And it was Lohman who ran into the protected space there. And Harry, he's been fantastic tonight as well. Back off that knee injury. centre bounce, Paddy Cripps.
So Cripps back in the middle. Brisbane winning it. Reveal, good run from Levi Ashcroft. They put something late together and score a goal in this final term. Charlie Cameron, Draper, great ball for it. Finding every contest out here, Carlton. Now the run is on. The Carlton fans just hopeful that the players understand what they desire in this last 60.
Oh, Cripper's got 40.
Yeah,
Cripper's got forward.
He's sneaking forward.
I feel like just opening the window and telling them. And he does. Well done. Hayward goes down the line. Cripps has had to come up with a contest. This is it. We watch. We wait. No! The score. In his 100th. In fairness, he could have kicked it a little bit down.
It was a mongrel kick, wasn't it?
At the moment, might have passed, or has it? One last bit of joy. Deep to the pocket. Oh, what a mark by Fletcher. But the siren is going to sound. Oh, what a night! A night to celebrate Patrick Cripps. A night to celebrate the new Carlton. The ultimate job interview from Josh Fraser. How can you not appoint him after that? The Blues vanquish the Lions by 76 points. Cripps has endured so much heartbreak in his career. Only played in 4 finals, 2 of them were losing finals against Brisbane. He could not have possibly imagined coming here tonight, Jack, that Carlton were going to win by 76 points and score 24 goals.
34 scoring shots, Hutto. It's been an incredible night. It's been an unbelievable night. Nobody thought that we would walk in here tonight and that Carlton would do an absolute number on the back-to-back premiers. And, I mean, this is... Oh, it'll be in the post-game, and it'll be the most talked-about topic for the whole week, Josh Fraser. Like, the keys are in his hand. They have to be after this. That is as good a footy as we have seen this year, nearly from anyone. Offensively and defensively, they were slick with ball in hand, and they were tough and rugged in the contest and defence.
9-2 under Josh Fraser. They're back in the top 10 as we get down to, I was going to say Kath Loman. Get down to Kath Loman.
Thanks, Anthony Hudson. Got the 2 milestone men alongside me, Patrick Cripps and Nick Haynes. Where do we start with summarising that game? That was just about perfect, it seemed. Maybe if you had got that goal late on too, the crowd were cheering for you, Cripper.
Yeah, I was trying to drift forward. I was like, I might as well try and jag one at the end. But, the boys played huge. Like, we were confident going in. We obviously have a high level of respect for Brisbane. They can score heavily. So, but yeah, I reckon kick 154 points in my time with the Blues, so it was nice time to do it.
Where did that firepower come from? I mean, 24 goals in the end, 16 different goal kickers, and as you said, 154 points on the board.
Yeah, I think we've just been building confidence, and we've been trying to evolve our game and take the game on a bit more. And it all starts with our defence. Like, these boys behind the ball were huge all night, and then we can springboard. So yeah, it was an awesome game. Crowd was alive, and it's always nice to share the milestone with Big Hainsey.
Talk to me about that moment, walking out with your beautiful children and your partners and your families all there. I mean, that's a moment you'll savour forever, Nick.
Yeah, me and Crib have a daughter about the same age, so they get along well at the club. And to run out with my 2 kids, something I'll cherish for the rest of my life, and have my family there as well. So, and to share it with Cripper, club legend, AFL legend, just makes it more special.
You spoke beautifully during the week of thinking you'd never get this chance. So you're 32 playing in the VFL, and you've always wanted to repay Carlton.
yeah, I was hacking away in the twos there for a little bit, but I knew I had a bit left in me, and for them to take a chance on me as a 32-year-old playing VFL, I just wanted to put my head down and get to work, and I knew that I had some footy left in me, so I'll be forever grateful.
What's this milestone meant to you, Paddy? I mean, you've had a few milestones along the way, but 250 with the Blues, and it's the new Blues we're calling you guys now.
Yeah, I don't know. The milestones are great, just a time to reflect, I suppose. And, we get so focused on what's next. And, in a blink of an eye, feels like yesterday I was a young fella debuting. But then you go back over the years, all the players you played with, the people that helped you along the journey. And then, I think it's just a great time to reflect. And Hazy said it before, I came over to Melbourne as an 18-year-old, walking out with a little daughter now. Your whole life sort of evolves, and the Carlton Footy Club's played a big part of my life, and they've been awesome for me and my family. So it's a nice moment to share with my family, but also Hainsey as well, who I've respected for a long time, playing against. But the calibre of the player and person he is coming to our club has been huge. But now to share with the fans tonight. So awesome.
Well said. And finally, what does this mean for Josh Fraser, do you think? Because tonight could be the night the narrative shifts for he should go for the job to he should get the job.
Yeah, well, I think he's been playing a pretty smart sort of poker hand at the moment. But look, we're loving our time under him. I think he'll make the right decision, what he thinks is right. But he's done a great job, hasn't he?
We'll let you go celebrate. Well done, you too.
No, thanks.
Yeah, the new Blues, the electric Blues they were tonight, weren't they, Jack? It's still hard to believe, isn't it?
Josh Fraser on screen there, and the crowd erupted.
Yeah.
Standing ovation when he came out from the coach's box. So you'd think the faithful would think he's their man taking them forward post-season 2026. And who knows what happens in 2026 in the back end of it, Hutto.
And to head down for the presentation of the Robert Walls medal. Blues ending Brisbane's 7-game winning streak by 76 points. Who was the best on the ground?
In 2025, Carlton and Brisbane came together to celebrate one of football's most recognised figures, Robert Walls, with the Robert Walls Medal. The medal is awarded to the player who recognises the performance and the character as reflected by Robert throughout his outstanding career on and off the field and in the coach's box. Today we are joined by a member of the Walls family, Rebecca, who will be presenting the medal for tonight's game. Without further ado, the winner of the 2026 Robert Walls Medal is Jagger Smith.
First of all, to Brisbane, we respect you a lot. Best luck for the rest of the year. It's a well-fought battle. To our boys, to get it done for Cooper and Hainsey, it's pretty special. So really happy for you boys. Let's keep building.
Once again, congratulations to Jagger Smith. Bluebag, it's a huge thank you for coming out in force today at Marvel Stadium. What an incredible result it was.
Oh, what an incredible result, all right. 76 points. Jack, you were part of the voting there for the Robert Walls Medal. A great man he was, obviously a great commentator as well as being a coach of both these footy clubs. Premiership coach, of course, with Carlton. And great to see Rebecca there representing the family. But it wouldn't matter who you chose tonight. I think it's going to be popular with the Carlton fans.
Well, do you want to know my vote? So,
sure.
Jagger Smith 3. He was clearly the best player on the ground. He was so clean tonight. I went with Kemp 2, 5 goals, and that run of 4 goals to get him going. And I gave Harry Dean a vote tonight. I mean, he's playing on arguably the most informed forward in the competition. In Logan Morris, and he's kept him to 5 possessions and 0 goals, and he snuck forward and kicked one himself, and the roof nearly caved in, and we got a smile out of Josh Fraser. But you could have thrown a blanket over him. You could have given, when George Hewitt was probably stiff, he would have sat in 4th for me. But I think in terms of complete performances, and you've only got to look at the score involvement stat, this has been, on a big night for this club, one of their best nights ever.
Great respect shown to 5 players, Patrick Cripps and Jill Brownlow medalist. Nick Haynes was an All-Australian. Drafted a couple of years earlier than Cripper. And he has not had too many nights like this, Patrick Cripps. And a couple of times Carlton have got to finals. Carlton fans don't want this night to end. They're going to celebrate the joy all that the post-match will bring. They're in the 8, number 10, I should say, in 10th place. Big Super Saturday of football. There's still more to come. The Swans hit a thriller. The Hawks hit a thriller. All the action on a historic day at North Sydney. The Aussies and the Irish had a big performance. Ended up being a little bit tighter than it might have been at one stage. But the Giants kept their hopes of a wild card alive. And then this. No one saw this coming. It has certainly been a Super Saturday so far.
All right, folks, there we go. The Blue Baggers, 76-point winners over the Lions tonight. They gave them an absolute spanking. They were rattled Brisbane the entire night. Thanks, Paul. There we go, 24-10, 154, 11, 12, 78. The Blue Baggers putting on 6 goals, one in that final term to just the 3 behinds the Brisbane Lions. I tell you what, they kicked nice and accurate. Just unfortunate, Paddy Cripps couldn't get a goal for his 250th. But I tell you what, he will celebrate that really well. Just before we wrap this up, let's just have a look at the goal scorers and we'll show you where Carlton is on the ladder. Brody Kemp, we'll start with Carlton, kicked 5 goals. Harry Mackay 3, Jager Smith 2, Taylor Byrne 2, singles also to Lewis Young. They're a stack. Sam Walsh, Pinay McGovern, Georgie Hewitt, Will Hayward, Florin got 1, Evans got 1, Dean got 1, Matty Cottrell got 1, Ben Ainsworth and Black Acres got 1. Whew, nearly the whole side. For the Lions, goal scorers, Kyle Lohman, Charlie Cameron, Taylor Burns, Carlton, Will Ashcroft, I should say, all with 2 goals for the Lions. Singles to Cam Rayner, Hugh McCluggage. Who else we got there? Sam Draper, Zach Bailey, Oscar Allen. There are your goal scorers. Disposal getters out on the ground, leading Georgie Hewitt for Carlton, 33 touches, 8 clearances. Will Ashcroft for Brisbane Lions was the best for them, 32 touches, 8 clearances, only 2 inside the top 30. Jager Smith, there we go, who got best on ground, voted best on ground, 29 touches, 6 clearances, 2 goals for him. Lockie Neal, 26, Sam Walsh, 27 for the Blues. We'll just roll down this and then we're just going to have a little bit of a look at the ladder. Hopefully Carlton will come back and sing the theme song for Carlton. Before we end this one, I want to show you the live ladder as we go. Let me load the ladder. This was how it was before the game. Brisbane sitting 4th on 52 points. Carlton were sitting 12th there on 36 points. Just the game out, and a game they needed to win. But if we reload the ladder up, Brisbane still sit in 4th. Dangerous so, because there's teams there that could go above them. Certainly Adelaide and Melbourne still yet to play. They'll play tomorrow if they can have big enough wins. And of course, there's really good news for like Geelong, Hawthorn, Western Bulldogs, Collingwood, those type of teams to keep Brisbane around that 52. Carlton, though, however, folks, Carlton jumps up from 12th. They are in the top 10 tonight. Carlton in the top 10 in the wild card position. All they have to do is just keep winning because they're a game clear, but the percentage is not good. So they need to keep that game clear of St Kilda and the Giants, who also have a little bit better percentage. So the key to Carlton playing finals this year, win, win, win. That's all they have to do. The last 3 home and away games for Carlton, but they are inside the top 10 this round, and by the end of this round, they will be top 10, the Carlton Football Club. Great news to tell you what. They are on fire, winning 3 of their last 5. They're going gangbusters. I tell you what, Josh Fraser could just as well be named the coach. Don't forget, for Brisbane and Carlton before they come back, a tough game for Brisbane next week. They played the Gabba back up there at the home ground. They're taking on Hawthorn. Tell you what, that's going to be another tough game for Brisbane. And of course, for Carlton next week, as I said, really interesting game. They play St Kilda at Marvel Stadium That's right, St Kilda at Marvel Stadium next week. And of course, St Kilda already played. Let's just go back to that live ladder. So this could nearly determine whether Carlton will make finals or not. St Kilda or Carlton. Carlton 10, St Kilda 11, just a game behind. So really important game for them. And of course, the Giants next week plays the Gold Coast Suns. So yeah, that's going to be super duper interesting as well. All right, let's go back and see. Let's head down to the Carlton rooms and they'll sing the Carlton theme song.
54 points on the board. It was unbelievable by the Carlton Football Club tonight. They've got all the kiddies in for the song. Let's take a listen.
We are the Navy Blues, woo! We are the old dark Navy Blues, woo! We're the team, never let you down. We're the only team of Carlton. We're all the champions, like to send us, keep your hands up. And I know that they be playing against the famous Soldier Blues.
With his beautiful daughter celebrating game 250 tonight, and it was just about perfect, David King, apart from no goal for Cripper. They tried in the end, we didn't get there, but he won't care one bit because it was a 76-point win, and what a moment that was for them. Nick Haynes, Patrick Cripps, game 250, and they're now celebrating here in the rooms. We're still trying to wrap our heads around what we've just seen.
Oh, the joint's buzzing down here.
It is, isn't it?
I don't want to go too early, but they may have had the rising star declared tonight with Jagger Smith doing what he did, particularly in the first half when the game was hot against a white-hot Brisbane midfield. And we may just have the Carlton coach. I mean, he just may be the man.
Do you think he has to get the job now?
Well, it's going to be hard to deny him on the evidence we're seeing. I mean, they play with such freedom. There's confidence. There's a real edge about them. There's an anger tonight. They stuck up for themselves as a football club time and time again when physically confronted by Brisbane. I think that's a telltale sign that this group is really together, united and charging towards the competition.
You had the feeling that he just needed a big scalp to really complete his case for the top job. I mean, he's still yet to declare it. He's going to join us any minute now, so we'll hit him with the hard questions, King Kong. But now to have defeated the reigning premiers, and you look at the bulk of work now, 9 wins from his 11 games in charge. It's outstanding. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Certainly Carlton hierarchy probably didn't see it coming.
No one saw this coming. I mean, even the most die-hard Carlton fan couldn't have scripted the back half of the
And we know a few of them, don't we?
There's a heap of them here at the moment. They couldn't have seen this coming under Josh. I mean, every component of their game tonight was in sync. And their defensive work was brilliant. Their counter-punch out of the defensive half, I haven't seen them move the ball. It was with ease, really. There was no great risk taken, and they just dismantled a premiership favourite.
Jack Rewalt, the boys are still almost remaining in the huddle that they sung the team song, because I think they're just debriefing on the night. Did we really do that? Did we really punish the reigning premiers like that?
Yeah, they're buzzing. It is a great feeling down here in the rooms. In terms of non-Richmond games, that's one of the best games I've ever seen and had fun at. That was so enjoyable, just as a footy lover. The way, I mean, this side, the way it started under Michael Voss and just the momentum and the feeling in here now, Kath, it's incredible.
I think a few of them just spotted themselves on screen. They've got the big Fox screen happening in the background, so having a bit of fun with that. There were a few laughs along the way. We've got to talk about the goal celebration from Matty Cottrell. I'm not sure we need to get to the bottom of that. We're also going to chat to Harry Dean, because his goal, his first AFL goal, I think that was probably the crowd at its loudest almost. And Anthony Hudson's call matched it.
He had a great night at Hutto. It was terrific to be just sitting next to him, watching him go crazy. But you're right.
Broke his hand too.
He's banging.
I thought he was a Geelong man. I think he's a Carlton man now.
He called it perfectly though, didn't he? Harry Dean's goal wasn't an easy goal. It was quite a challenge for him to get it done, but it's the next wave Blues that took over tonight. I think that's the most pleasing part. It was Jagger in where it had to be one in the midfield. It was Harry Dean, who's almost become their sole leader down back. He just marshals the troops, gets the job done. there's the old man there, their rap is breaking the game down now. I mean, what a proud moment it would be for Peter, who's been here and done it all, right? So he knows how he feels. It's just, there's a lot of love in the room,
Oh, there is, isn't it? Aren't they great pictures?
Yeah.
I'm sure the joy that you see your child achieving on the footy field is nothing like your own feats. Can we get back to the coaching discussion, though, because it is... Let's address the scouts.
Well, this is what he's done. I mean, you come up against the most informed forward in the competition, potentially, a young star, and a battle that'll happen for a long time. He was incredible on Logan Morris. This man here, he's one of our favourites on Super Saturday, though, Kath.
Well, we are just going to relive Harry Dean's goal for a second. We have Jagger Smith alongside us. So, Jagger, take it away. What did you think of Harry Dean's goal? Because the crowd went into absolute ruptures after that.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I just saw him out of the corner of my eye and I thought, I'll give it to my young mate, and he just kicked it, and the carry-on was pretty big. He just loves it, and he's a cult figure now. The crowd love him all through his amazing actions, and we just love playing.
Your young mate, how old are you?
I'm probably a year older.
You're a year older. You can't go with your young mate.
I've got him covered in maturity. That's what I'm saying.
Got him covered in maturity. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I know I've got him.
Hey, well done yourself personally. I mean, that was a statement game from you. That first half, you just took control of the midfield. It looked like you really set yourself to see where you're at against the best in the competition.
Yeah, you're right, Kingy. They're the standard. They've won the last 2 flags, and they've got an amazing midfield. And yeah, I got myself up for this game. It's a big game against players I really respect. Lockie Neal and Will Ashcroft in there, and Hugh McCluggage as well. So
let's have some fun here, mate.
Yeah, so it was great to be a part of it.
Run us through some of these highlights of yours. What are you working on? What do you see when you watch yourself on replay? What are you looking for? What do you see?
Yeah, the main thing with me is just getting my feet going. That's how I can add to this midfield group. I want to go inside to out and drive us forward. And I think I've been doing that the last sort of 10 weeks. And ever since I probably had a little bit of a slower start to the year, but I've gained confidence throughout the year and been trying to take it under my feet.
You said you were up for this game. What was it about this game? Was it the calibre of players you were facing, the Brisbane midfield, the reigning premiers? What was it?
Yeah, it was probably just the calibre of midfield that we're going up against. And it was also Crippers and Haynes' 250th, who both mean a lot to this footy club. And to get the job done from tonight, it was pretty special.
Yeah, we've spoken to you a few times over the year, and we really enjoyed it. It's like, you've got to pinch yourself. This is your first year of proper AFL footy. I mean, you're obviously injured with a knee last year, but you measure your game off score involvements, and you said that is the number one thing. When you go home and you look at your stats and you watch back your film, it's score involvements. 12 tonight. You're really starting to develop the best Jagger Smith game.
Yeah, you're right, Jack. I said that before. Just score involvements is a big thing for me. I want to be damaging and a part of the scoring chain. So as high as I can get those numbers, it means I'm contributing to scores. And they bleed for the jumper, and he said, what Fraser said to us, what do you want to be remembered when you play 250 games at the end of your career? So Walshy leads all that stuff, and yeah, he's really tough at the ball, and we absolutely love Fraser as a coach.
What's it like having Big Pito back? Obviously, the 2 games you lost after the 7 in a row under Fraser, I mean, yeah, different ruckman in, but he gives you... It feels like he gives you a bit of an elder statesman, but you walk taller with him in your side.
100%. I think he probably had a bit of a down week last week by his standards, and he attacked this week with a bit of anger, and he was amazing again tonight, his follow-up. And when you see your ruckman laying big tackles, being physical, it's hard not to want to follow.
What is it about Josh Fraser? I mean, we asked you last time we spoke to you, but now you've taken such a big scalp in the Brisbane Lions. The conversation's just going to go to the next level now this week. What is it?
I'll just say he's very level-headed. He doesn't overcomplicate things, and his just demeanour is very level. And it gives the players a lot of confidence to be calm. And yeah, we absolutely love him. Doesn't ride the roller coaster, and yeah, we absolutely love him as players. But it's up to him. He's got a week to make that decision, and that's his call.
Is my favourite curator here tonight? Is he here, your old man? He's here. Oh, I need to say good day to him. I see what he makes of the grass out there. See how he's smart.
What do you reckon of it? Do you love your grass?
I saw you covering it pretty well. Sam Walsh, can I specifically ask you about him? What have you learnt from Sam? I saw him just busting his lungs tonight with his work rate early.
Yeah, he's just tough. And probably sort of his two-way running. That's the main thing that I want to sort of lift in my game. And because most most best midfielders in the comp, they normally probably go one way majority, and I think he really leads that example and goes both ways, and that's what I'm trying to follow, and that's what I've been taking from his game.
We'll let you go soon because it sounds like you're losing your voice. But one more, the Matt Cottrell goal celebration. What was this about? Is this a bit of Commonwealth Games, walking? What was the inspiration?
Yeah, he has been watching a lot of the Commonwealth Games, and maybe he's been watching that 10,000 metre walker. Because, I don't know, the hips are going there. Yeah, something, I don't know.
Let's ask you the last one. Here's the celebration here. We can enjoy this.
Yeah, it's that 10K sort of walker.
Yeah, it is. So good. Kicked away from the Kenyan lake.
He dropped Harry at the turn. Harry's gone.
And here's the other celebration, which was obviously, this is Harmonica Gate when he was just the Conor McGregor type operation.
Yeah, he loves it.
You win the medal tonight, and obviously Robert Walls is a big part of this football club. He's a big part of the Brisbane Lions. He was a big part of Fox Footy as well. He obviously, I don't know whether you ever met Robert, but what's it like to win a medal on a big occasion like that after a very well-known football person?
Yeah, it's an honour to win the award tonight. Bossy, obviously our old coach, spoke a lot of him. He was coached by him, and so to win the award tonight after Robert Walls is it's really special. Yeah.
Well said, Jagger. Thanks for stopping by. We'll let you go catch up with your dad and your family and friends. Congratulations
and the maturity
tonight.
levels are about to go up.
I'll be over there in a minute, mate. Just taking out the old man. Well, thanks, mate. We'll take that off.
Great to chat to Jagger Smith. There is a serious vibe in the Blues change rooms tonight. There's a hype, and well, from one young gun to another. Harry Dean, congratulations. Giving you a right of reply to start with, Jagger Smith just said that he's more mature than you.
He called you a young mate.
Young mate.
No, he seems like he's a 10-year player at the club. He's got a real old head in his old head, so yeah.
So you'll cop that one.
I'll cop it from you.
Hey, what an unbelievable night. Can you sum up what you've just been a part of? That was a massive result against the reigning premiers, and everything just seemed to go your way this evening.
Yeah, I think it was just the Carlton way. All played for each other. I think it meant a bit more as well, especially for Cooper and Hainsey. But yeah, we just stuck together the whole game and played our way.
What was it like in the change rooms before? Everyone's been speaking about Patrick Cripps and Nick Haynes and the determination to put in a good performance for them tonight.
Yeah, I think it just started off through the week. Like, we just wanted to focus on the game, especially, but adding that with Cooper and Hainsey just meant a bit more, and we put a bit more time around them. Not too much, but just to acknowledge their 250 games, like that's a good career. So it just meant a bit more for everyone, I reckon. And tonight just showed, and I think every minute we just played for them in the club.
You haven't had your backline leader out on the field in Jacob Wiedering for a while now, and it's fallen on very young shoulders of you and Wade Dirksen as well. The opportunity. You look like a player that just thrives on the fight of AFL footy and grasping that opportunity in front of you tonight. You take on Logan Morris, arguably the most informed player in the competition ahead of the ball, and you take it right to him. How do you prepare for a battle like that?
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky this year to play consistent this year and play a lot of games. And yeah, Jake has been out for a bit, so me and Dirk and Haynes have been down there as the keys. But yeah, just through the week, I just think we'll have a good training and train hard, and that will just lead into the game. But yeah, I just take every match up as I can as the best opponent, and I just have a crack and fight.
Always love playing with the crazy ones. I feel like you're one of the crazy ones, Harry. I've got to be honest. There's a little bit something different with you, and I love your aggression and your anger. Can we go through your goal together and just tell us what
goal of the year?
They went crazy, the fans, didn't they? What was going through your mind here?
I got no idea.
It's an incredible goal. So you have to shift your hips. You're on your wrong side. You get it from your old mate, Jagger Smith. But kicking your first goal in AFL footy, it must have been an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I don't know how I got up there. I think I was just being assertive, and there was a handball chain, and I was like, I might get onto it. So I got it from Jagger, and I was like, I might have a ping here. Like, you don't get a lot of chances up in full back. So I barely didn't helicopter it. So I was like, oh no. But it went through, and I was like, gosh, like, it went in, and I just didn't know what to do, and I just ran the ground.
You love being a cult figure. I feel like you're the man now. The crowd attacks to you when you do some amazing plays. It goes mental.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out the crowd as well. It was huge from them tonight. It'd be good to see them next week as well, or at an away game. But no, I just if some people think I'm a cold hero, but no, I'm just playing for the jersey and playing for my mates.
You said the word assertive.
Well done.
You play, and we said it in the call. You play with a great deal of courage. Not that you've got the courage to go back with the flight, but the courage to come up and impact the contest in front of you. Is that something that you've always had, or is that something that's developed since you've been at Carlton?
Yeah, I've learned a lot of new skills this year. Going through my juniors, I think last year through my top age year at 18s, I was playing a bit more of that assertive role, but I played actually a bit more lockdown this year, but I think it's just come through my juniors and the way I play. And I've been told from the leaders and the coaches to just play your game, play away, and that's why he got drafted. So, yeah.
Comes from a line of crazies. Your old man was mad too. He was a beauty, Pete. I love watching him play. It's as hard as nails. I saw you just give him a big cuddle before. He would have had some words. He would have been really proud of your performance tonight. What was the conversation?
He missed my goal.
Did he?
Oh, no. Was he?
What was he doing?
He said he was going, I think he was going to the toilet or something, and he walked back to the live's telly and he saw...
Oh, no.
He's missed a lot of my hangers through juniors as well, and a few goals as well, but...
I'll tell him not to turn up next week then. He'll have a domination.
But what was the chat? What was it? A little bit.
Yeah, no, he's really proud. The old man normally has a few things to say to me, but yeah, the first words is always very proud of your son, and it just means a lot because you look up to your dad, but to play the same club and wear the same jersey, it was pretty special.
It's so good. I mean, it's a great moment. I know.
He hates that.
He hates it, does he?
Yeah,
not a good cuddler?
Yeah, no.
Does that make you just want to hug him more because he hates it?
We'll all hug him on the way out, just to annoy him.
Harry, it's awesome to see you play. Go and enjoy watching the replay if you go, and maybe sit down and watch it with your dad, given he missed it.
No, I'll probably get a ring from my whole family on mum's side and dad's side, so I'll have to sit down with everyone and watch it. But no, thank you guys a lot.
That's the joy of footy, hey. Well done, Harry Dean. Thanks for stopping by. Well done.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Well, two beauties for the Carlton Football Club, Jagger Smith and Harry Dean. How pumped would you be as bring in Jay Clark, Chief Football Writer at the Herald Sun? How pumped would you be if you're a Blues fan right now? And even hearing from Harry Dean just then give the Carlton fans a shout out and say, I hope we see you next week too. They're just falling more and more in love with this man.
Incredible, isn't it? I mean, to see the young players you guys explain so well. I mean, it's the resurgence. You called them the baby Blues. Jack, to think back to round 8, the 38-point loss to St Kilda when the Carlton fans were leaving, weren't they? They were walking up the aisles. Now they're dancing in the aisles and they see young players like that perform. So it's a freight train. There's so much momentum behind the footy club at the moment. And Josh Fraser, I mean, it's a huge 48 hours in the life of Josh Fraser. The Carlton Footy Club will ask him whether he's in or out. Now, surely.
He's got to be in, doesn't he?
Surely. I mean, how glass empty would you have to be on yourself to say, nah, I'm actually right.
I'm not ready.
I'll sit out on this one.
I think I'm ready.
I don't think I'm ready. I thought we'd win by 100 points.
They call him the Carlton Grinch. He's won 9 out of 11, and they've just knocked off the 2-time reigning premier. So you'd think it's a formality that he'd enter the process.
He's 6 in front of the 100 here, isn't he? He's miles in front.
Why isn't he the man? That's what I'm struggling to understand. I think he has to be. They love him, the atmosphere. Maybe he's got to talk and set out his plan and presentation for a 5-year view. Maybe some recruiting stuff. How would you map out a pre-season? There'd be some big picture questions, no doubt about that. But otherwise, his culture, his values, his tactics, I mean, the ball's pinging around. You called it so well.
I think they now have to go to him and say, mate, you've got to put your hand up here.
The arm wrestle.
It's the other way around now.
Yeah.
The script is flipped. It was him having to had to declare himself and put himself at risk and on the line. I think that's all changed after tonight.
They'd still have to talk to everyone else, though, wouldn't they? Would they have to go to Graham and write it? So you still have to go through the process.
Mad not to, because you gather a lot of information about your football club, a lot of perceptions out there about your list and how far away you actually are. And you're silly not to get that from 4 or 5 good football people, but you don't want to waste their time. At the same point, if you have made a decision or if it's going to fall this way, you have a respect for those guys to say, hey, look, thanks, but we've been pushed to a point where we almost have to say he's our man.
Well, they're at that point, because can you imagine if they don't sign Josh Fraser and they let him go and he goes somewhere else and they don't perform like they've been performing under Fraser, then you potentially lose the club. Because people will be asking the question, we had him right under our nose. We saw what he did with this group. It's at the point where I appreciate they're going to go to him. They're going to go to him and say, you're the man. Here's the job.
Do you think he was just waiting for a big scalp until he declared his hand?
I
Do you think that was his tactic? Because let's be honest, when you look at his resume, he wants to be a senior coach. He said he wants to be a senior coach. And you feel like as each week has gone by, as him being interim coach, he would fall more and more in love with this job, the idea of this job.
It's a great point. I mean, he'd go home tonight and surely enjoy a bottle of red wine. Your head hits the pillow, be so happy. They got St Kilda Dogs and Freo to come, so still some big assignments. But you can feel the energy in the rooms. He's clearly thriving and relishing, so all credit to him. The turnaround in 3 months has been extraordinary at this footy club.
He's been a busy man in the rooms tonight, and we'll take his press conference as soon as he sits down to front the media here at Marvel Stadium. But let's switch our focus to the Brisbane Lions and what this result means for them. I mean, they have been flying 7 straight wins. Let's take a listen to Chris Fagan last week following Brisbane's win over Port Adelaide, where he was asked about the Lions' run of form.
There's always a big sledgehammer waiting around the corner, I reckon, Fish. You just never know. So don't take form for granted.
So it's almost like he predicted this, Jay Clark. He saw this coming.
Yeah, their spot in the top 4 is now really vulnerable. They've left the gate open. So their run home is Hawthorn, Gold Coast, and then Collingwood. If they win 2 out of 3, Geelong could win 3 out of 3, Essendon, North Melbourne, Richmond, and take that double chance.
Geelong are winning those 3.
Yeah, so they're vulnerable. Brisbane, they're prone to the stinker. Every 6 weeks, Brisbane play the stinker. But as you guys articulated so well, there's genuine questions. The defence, that's as poor a defensive performance as they've put in some time. Oscar Allen, is he still in the mix? They missed Dane Zorko. So I think there's real question marks over this Brisbane Lions team based on what we saw tonight. The defensive breakdown is mystifying.
The blueprint on defeating Brisbane is tagging Harris Andrews. I think it's for every single game for the rest of this season, whether it be home and away or finals, if you're coming up against Brisbane, you have got to find a player that can tag Harris Andrews. I thought it was a masterstroke tonight to send Lewis Young down there, a taller type who just halved the contest and took Andrews away. Got a lot of marks in the pockets and just drew him out and then exposed Eric Hipwood, who, out of the fact of probably height, really, that they put him behind the ball. So there's huge issues.
They're big numbers, aren't they? They're big numbers against.
Yeah.
And we said it, Daniel Horn put this on the radar a few weeks ago. He said one team in 100 years of football has won the flag with a bottom 4 defensive profile. That's the 8th time for the year they've conceded 100-plus points. They only did it 3 times last year, 3 times the year before. So you're allowed to have some down days. But when they start to stack up like this, you start to get concerned. Chris Fagan, he'd be beside himself tonight. 154 points. Carlton haven't kicked 154 points for 15 years. So this is a number.
Historic.
Do you think we've just all been a bit blinded by their offensive numbers? I mean, they've been averaging 120 points per game the last 7 weeks, so a lot of the narrative has been they're flying, and rightly so. You can't knock them while they're on a 7-game winning streak. But as you said, you highlighted these defensive concerns a little while ago.
Well, the problem is they've got injuries now as well.
Yeah.
So we're at round 21. There's not a lot of time left on this premiership runway.
And Eric Hipwood looks a vulnerable cog in that back 6. They're missing Ty Gallup. Also Ryan Lester tonight. He couldn't shake hands with Carlton players with his right arm. That was hanging low, so clearly he's in massive doubt for the next week, if not more. And as well, Kadeem Coleman off with that concussion, so he misses next week's clash against Hawthorn as well. So there's another potential 2 soldiers they need to call up. There has been a lot of turnover in this Brisbane side. Can they stay up? It's not just been this season. This has been a 4-year run from the Lions.
This is the challenge of the three-peat. Hey, let's take a listen to Chris Fagan, who's addressing the media right now at Marvel Stadium following their 76-point loss to Carlton.
Chris, what do you think happened tonight? That just didn't seem like you guys at all.
No, well, we've had 7 great weeks, and tonight, not so good. Started okay, but I think, the way... I'll go back, put it to you this way. Carlton are a good side. If you do a ladder of the last 11 weeks, they're second. And when you coming into the game, they'll be hard to beat. All right, so we played a good team tonight. That'll be the first thing I would say. The second thing is what they've been able to do in more recent times have been able to get a lot of uncontested marks and dominate time in possession. We were trying to take that away from them tonight, but we didn't succeed at all. And the other thing that you got to do when you play Carlton is you got to be good at stoppage, and you've got to be good at contested ball, and we're not good at either of those things tonight. So they played incredibly well. They played at a high level of intensity, and we were off the boil tonight from where we've been over the past few weeks.
I was a bit surprised. I guess you finished the second half with quite a bit of energy and optimism. Cut the margin to about 3 goals at half time.
Second quarter.
Sorry, second quarter. Yeah. Was it were you a bit surprised that you weren't able to sort of parlay that into the second half? It almost went backwards.
We were trying to, but they came out and got going again, and we were just chasing all night long. And then in the end, we ended up we had no fit players to bring on in the last quarter. We had about 5 guys that couldn't come back on, so it wasn't a great night for us. We'll see how we go with the injuries, but. No excuses. Carlton were fantastic tonight in every facet of the game, and we were poor defensively. We were off. It hasn't been us for the last 6 or 7 weeks, but it was us tonight.
How much did Ty Gallop going out and having to change the magnets around, putting Kipwood down back, and then Oscar Allen coming in affect things, do you think?
Oh, no, there was more to the loss than that. I mean, Eric Kipwood doesn't play in the midfield. We got beaten in the midfield tonight. We lost the supply battle. And the backs are under the pump all night long. So, and the bottom line was we didn't have Ty Gallop. And who else is out at the moment, Dan, from our back line? Darcy Gardner. So two guys that played there a bit weren't available. And so we had to try and come up with something tonight. We tried Eric there. Eric's played there in the past for us, but he practiced there this week, but it's a little hard when you don't play there every week. But we didn't have too many alternatives, to be honest.
Would you persist with Eric going forward? I mean, Oscar's in the past has gone back himself. Is that something you'll persist with, or you might change?
I don't know. It depends on player availability. So I think Darcy Gardner might be available next week, so that will make a little bit of a difference there.
It's a bit disappointing also in the fact that you're obviously right in the hunt for a top 4 spot, but to lose so much percentage tonight, you couldn't really sort of block the down wall kind of thing. And now Adelaide is a good chance of sort of overtaking.
Yeah, no, they could. We couldn't do much about it. I mean, in the last quarter, we didn't have a player to bring back on the field, so we couldn't slow the game down. It was just difficult. The guys that were out there were tired. Carlton were running over the top of us. It was like your worst nightmare. But that's just the way it goes in footy sometimes.
So would you classify it as concerning as the GWS game, or is it they're a little bit different beasts?
Well, we just won 7 games in a row, and we've lost 1 game tonight. I'm not panicking at all. This happens in footy sometimes. Not what we wanted tonight, not ideal, but it's happened, and we just got to respond now.
Speaking of the guys that didn't finish the game, Ryan Lester, is there any update on his shoulder?
No, I can't give you any updates because these things, need to be scanned and all sorts of things. So I have no idea at this point in time. I know you want to know, but I'm not the doctor, and the game's finished 10 minutes ago, and I can't give you an accurate rundown.
And who are the players? So it's obviously Coleman and Lester and Morris. There are 2 others you mentioned.
McCluggage was off late.
Yeah. Is there another?
No, that's probably it. That's probably it.
Was McCluggage just a management thing?
No, he had a little bit of soreness in his calf. So I don't know whether he's just got a sore calf or there's more to it.
So there'll be scans during the week.
I guess so, yeah.
Coleman's obviously, if it's a concussion, he won't be involved next week, obviously.
Yeah, so he'll be out. We get Zorko and Gardner back next week. But that's not an excuse for tonight. Carlton were brilliant. They played a super game, a high level of intensity from the start, and we couldn't go with them.
You mentioned the injuries open the door for some of the younger guys in the VFL to also press their cases for senior selection. How important is that squad depth across the board?
Well, our squad depth's been tested all year, to be honest with you, because we've had up to 15, 16 players out at different times. We're just getting some players back, and now we seem to be back getting a few injuries. So, it's good for your list in a sense, but at this time of the year, trying to get some solidarity and play each week with a similar lineup if you can, so you can get good cohesion together. And so it's not ideal if you're changing your side a lot at this point in time.
Does the way you responded to a similar loss earlier in the year give you guys confidence that you can hit that pretty quickly and smartly?
Yeah, well, we've been responding to things for the best part of the last 6 or 7 years. So it's a loss tonight, but we'll work out a way forward, and hopefully we're going to have to play well next week. We've got Hawthorn, and they're in good form, so it'll be a good test for us.
Did you feel? I know from the coach's box, but did you feel the energy of the crowd and sort of the impact that had on the game? No. I was aware that the Carlton crowd were loud and getting pretty excited and celebrating, and that no doubt helps them on the field. But that's only because they were playing so well and we were playing so poorly, to be honest with you. So it's not a factor. It's not a factor in the game from my perspective. Teams get that when they come to the Gabba. Our fans up there make a lot of noise, and obviously when you're on a bit of a roll, that helps momentum. But we're an experienced side. We've played in those sorts of environments before, so I think that's not a factor in this game tonight. But thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, Chris Fagan pretty level-headed here tonight following their 76-point loss to Carlton. Obviously, some injury concerns for them tonight. So Coleman, Lester, Morris and McGluggage, which he touched on. But they should get Zorko and Gardner back for Friday night footy at the Gabba, which is massive. Top 4 clash against Hawthorn. So you just wonder what Sam Mitchell and co would be sitting back and wondering after watching that tonight. The Brisbane Lions absolutely flying heading into tonight, and then suffer that kind of result to Carlton. A couple of MRO incidents this evening, Jay.
Yeah, let's start with Brisbane's Kai Lohman on Matthew Cottrell from Carlton first. And I feel like this is borderline, potentially more likely fine there. His head does bounce off the ground there at the end. So you're looking for a vulnerable position, an excessive force. It was more of a drag down than a sling. He's got hold of that right hand. Is there enough force with his head hitting ground to deserve a one-match suspension? We've seen similar incidents get 1 week before. I reckon that's borderline, potentially more likely fine. Have you guys got a strong view?
I would be happy with that being a week.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, we've got to get rid of these pushing players like that.
Taunting.
Oh, it just does me.
Kingy?
Tool tax, you reckon? A bit of tool tax on top for the push? I don't think it's a factor.
Well, he missed the goal.
Well, you're batting at 98% this year. You've got one wrong in the first 100 cases. Do you give him suspension for that or not?
He does hold that left arm. I just don't know whether the force will be considered. You see, I tell you what happens is Matt Cottrell gets his other arm down and does brace for impact. That could save him his left arm. Let's have a look at the next one because it's significant in the Rising Star race.
If it's Paul Curtis, he gets 3 weeks.
Okay, just put your Northern pom-poms down for a second. Harry Dean, who's one of the Rising Star favourites on Cam Rayner here. Now, this is also very, very similar. What might save Harry Dean here is his Rayner's right hand. See how he gets his right hand around and just braces for contact? So that might then see that it falls in the low force category, which is a fine, not a suspension, which means he's still eligible. So Rayner popped up like a sprinkler after that, and we know they take into account the outcome and the impact. So that might just be low. Again, borderline. We'll have a nervous night. Harry Dean on that one. And if he is suspended for a match, then he isn't eligible for the Rising Star. Jagger Smith's still clearly the favourite.
What was your verdict? What was in the end?
Look, I think because he can brace his arm around, as I said, more likely fine potentially, but it is a borderline situation.
We'll wait and see and hear tomorrow from the MRO. We are standing by to take you to Josh Fraser's press conference. He's going to be peppered with questions about this Carlton coaching job, so we'll take you there as soon as he sits down. But while we wait, let's just bring you up to speed with what happened at Adelaide Oval tonight. It was a win for the GWS Giants by 12 points over Port Adelaide. So the Giants keep their slim finals hopes alive, and it's been a pretty interesting day when it comes to the ladder, hasn't it? Obviously, the Saints lose into the Swans, which sees the Blues jump into the top 10, and then the Giants just remain that slim chance on the ladder. They sit in 12th position, same points as St Kilda. We'll have to study the run homes in closer detail, but Jake Stringer, he kicked 3 goals. Stephen Canelio kicked 3. Lockie Whitfield with 29 disposals and a goal. So it's been hard to get a read on the Giants in season 2026, and they've obviously had an extraordinary amount of injuries, but a great road win for them tonight, Jay.
Yes, certainly. I mean, they've been tested as a football club and really questioned, haven't they, over the past month? They've been the most inconsistent football club in the country, but They've summoned it on the road here and got the points against Port Adelaide, who have been very consistent. I think big watch and big decisions to be made at the end of the season on that man, Jake Stringer, Jesse Hogan, Collingwood potentially sniffing around there, and also Toby Green. It feels like and sounds like Green might be more likely to stay at GWS. Those talks to ramp up at season's end, but just hanging in the Giants for a wildcard spot.
Yep, let's hear from the coaches, beginning with Adam Kingsley.
Hard fought win. I thought we controlled the most part of the game, struggled to finish our work. I thought Port scrambled well. I thought it was a pretty strong game from us.
Lack of polish, probably just all over the ground. A lot of turnovers. It was a pretty frustrating game to coach. I'm sure it would have been a frustrating game to watch. Always felt like, sort of close enough, and if you could get the game and turn it a bit and start hitting some targets and obviously going inside 50, find a teammate. But, it just felt like we're trying really hard all night and, obviously lots of effort to keep showing up, but in the end just, lack that bit of class.
So for the Giants run home, they take on the Suns on the Gold Coast, the Eagles at home, and then the Crows in Adelaide. So a couple of difficult road trips, but they're still in the hunt. They're still alive, which is the beauty of Wildcard Weekend.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You've loved it from the moment it was
awesome.
announced.
Get around it. It's awesome.
Come on. Don't be a party pooper.
You're the wildcard Grinch.
He is.
Who makes it? Who makes it?
I've got Melbourne, Collingwood, St Kilda Bulldogs in my wildcard spot. So I've got, that was before tonight. So Carlton's doing a little.
You got to factor that in, mate.
Just asking who makes it into the 10th position.
Go on, Grinch. Who
have you got?
No one makes it for me.
Carlton get in, surely.
You've got the Saints, mate.
I've got the Saints sneaking.
Okay, we're getting the wind up. We will go to Josh Fraser's press conference next. A reminder, tomorrow, Sunday Ticket on Fox begins at the MCG, Richmond West Coast, and we head to the Gold Coast. Christian Petrarca up against his former club, the Demons, and then finally back here at Marvel Stadium to conclude round 21, Essendon and the Crows. Bounce and first crack to follow, as always, on your Sunday nights on Fox. Women's game, North Sydney Oval looked an absolute picture. It was sold out for the first ever international fixture for AFLW, Australia taking on Ireland, and we pumped them. The Aussies by 50 points. How good.
We beat them. How long have they been playing?
What, are you guys Australian or not? Come on,
So we should, though.
Crocs hasn't lost the game for 4 years.
The venue has been a massive talking point around the SCG, etc. I reckon the AFL might have got it right here. It looks spectacular. It was a full house, great atmosphere. I don't know, if that's what they predicted for the crowd, I think the league might have pulled the right rein.
Undefeated.
Who's next?
Who's next?
The USA.
Me too, is what I'm asking. It looked beautiful. It really did on the coverage.
But do you know what? There was so much talk about the venue and North Sydney Oval. Why wasn't at the SCG? But the girls were actually really grateful for this. They thought it was a great initiative by the AFL, and what a success it was.
Yeah, that is sick. It was a show too. I mean, these are some brilliant goals.
This is a snag. Yeah. That is an unbelievable snag, that one.
Chloe Malloy threaded an absolute beauty. I mean, it's great. Hopefully it only builds from here. The concept, more support momentum for the women's incredible spectacle.
So it's the perfect appetiser for the upcoming AFLW season, which will kick off with a bang because it's next Sunday night, the Saints v Carlton here before the men's do battle. So what a big game that is going to be. There's going to be a serious buzz here at Marvel Stadium for that, obviously with the wild card section of the ladder as it stands at the moment. Carlton 10th, Saints 11th, so whoever wins will probably jump back into the top 10. We got the women's kicking it off before, so a great double header coming your way. Marvel Stadium, if you're in Melbourne, get to Marvel. Let's head to this man's press conference. Here's the story of the night, Josh Fraser, following their 76-point win over the reigning premiers.
Josh, was that almost the perfect night?
It was nice to see some complimentary football from our boys and phases linking together pretty well. I think Brisbane, we know the quality of Brisbane and how good they've been for a long period of time, and sometimes you can have these nights where you're marginally off, and we can't necessarily control that, but what we can control is the plan that we had going into the game, what we wanted to take away from them, but then what we wanted to bring as well. So by and large, it was pretty consistent over 4 quarters, but yeah, there were still moments in the game where I thought we probably left some chances out there and maybe didn't quite defend the way we wanted to, but it's an imperfect game. You're trying to chase consistency, and the best teams will challenge you. So pleasing result overall.
I think it was an equal VFL AFL record, 16 individual goal kickers tonight. It must be really pleasing for you.
Yeah, it is. It's look, we've spoken a lot about team first and being really predictable in our offence and those sorts of things, and our players are buying into that, and we're acknowledging that just as much as we're acknowledging the person kicking the goal. And it's not only that, like, that's encouraging to hear the spread of goal kickers, but the spread of players taking their opportunities defensively and buying into that side of the game is equally as important for us. I thought we defended the ground pretty well tonight as a unit.
How much of a motivation tonight was the Skippers 250 and also Nick Haynes?
Well, we spoke about it during the week and pre-game. I'd love to think that the win wasn't just the emotion of that, but it was more the process that we've been tipping into over 10 or 11 weeks now. But with that said, both players, Cripper and Hainsey, I think have huge standing amongst the group, and there would have been an awareness that if we could just take a little bit of what Cripper does and a little bit of what Hainsey brings, it's going to help us.
Cripps has probably carried this club for a long time. How fitting was it he didn't have the best game of his career, but yeah, other guys were able to step up and really play a good game as well.
I think we're at a stage where we don't need him to be their best player each week. Not to say that he's not going to have games where he's influential, and he's had those games for us, but part of where we're going in terms of leaving his club in a better place is making sure that other players assume responsibility, and Cripper doesn't feel like he has to do everything. And I've spoken about this previously. I think he's doing an incredible job at empowering others around him and making others better. And sometimes that means his possession rate comes down, but it doesn't mean his impact and influence on the game's any less significant. He's leading incredibly well, the way he's uniting the group, driving our training standards. I thought his game tonight, whilst possession-wise might have been down on previous weeks, was just as important.
At what point do you think that moment came in terms of not making you to win every week?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment. I think it's been a part of our evolution with how we play and the system we're trying to build. And he may have been working away at this for a long period of time. I'm not sure, and maybe it's just good for him. But again, I think what he's doing Monday to Friday has been as influential as anything, and the way he's making others around him better. And it's not just Cripper, it's our leadership group in general. We're starting to spread the load there, and we've got young guys emerging that are also taking responsibility at key times.
You mentioned the young blokes. I mean, two essential first-year players in Jagger and Dean. I mean, to have those two such big play such big roles and such a big win.
Yeah. We've got exciting youth. We've got really exciting youth. They just bring a youthful exuberance to the way they play. Deanie kicking that goal, you could see what that meant to him and those around him. Jagger's been very consistent for a while now. Lockie Cowan doesn't get spoken about a lot. He's a young player, but he's been so important for us. Billy Wilson's growing his game. Cooper Ward's come in and he's playing important roles. And there's other guys at VFL level who are performing at a high standard. So I'm really excited about the youth of the group, knowing that we've got more work in front of us, but what they've been able to bring has certainly elevated our performance across the board. And what I can say is that those guys are as hungry as anyone to get better. The way they're tipping into their game and investing in their game, they're helping drive those standards.
What did you say to the players at half-time after parts of the second quarter where it seemed like everything was clicking, and then had a couple of late goals just before half-time?
Yeah.
What did you say to them that kind of settled them down and get them going?
Well, we spoke about being predictable. We probably went away from that marginally, and our challenge has been manage momentum when the game's going against us, and our next challenge is to manage momentum when we've got it and what that looks like, and that's staying disciplined to the way we're playing and disciplined to each other. And that's the growth in the group that I saw tonight. We spoke about it. I thought our second half looked pretty predictable. It's just understanding the moments and the time of the game and those sorts of things. It's something we're educating them on. They're doing a pretty good job by and large.
Was this the closest thing to like an ideal Carlton view in terms of the way they moved the ball, got it from inside to out, and then damaged, I guess, in transition?
Yeah, potentially. We understand that you don't have the game on your terms for 4 quarters, and Brisbane challenged us in different ways tonight. The scoreboard maybe at the end of the game doesn't reflect that, but they did. They're a fantastic side, and it did put stress on our system at times, but the importance of being able to play our way and potentially play slightly differently when the game demands it. But each week looks different. Teams are trying to take things away from you. You have to adapt. Tonight's result's pleasing from a scoreboard perspective and the way we played, but like I sit here going, we've still got things to get better at. You know, we're far from a finished product in terms of the way we want to play. But hopefully our supporters are starting to see an identity, not just around the way we're moving the ball, but around the way we pressure and turn up at contests and how connected we are with each other and celebrating and those sorts of things. So it's getting there, but we've got work to do.
What have you made of George Hewitt's block since coming back into the senior side now? It's been a stretch of games. How have you sort of seen his form since that hurdle, I guess, mid-season?
Yeah, just team first, George. Team first. You'll do what the team requires. We asked George to do a fair bit in games. He's a bit of a Mr. Fix-It for us, but again, he's a guy that is tipping into his game as much as anything. I spoke about this back 10 weeks ago, that the challenge was our experienced players to find ways to get better, and George is no different, and that's setting a standard for our younger guys, but he's so reliable. Love how he goes about it.
Josh, that was probably one of the club's best wins in the past 10 years against reigning back-to-back premiers. Does that result of that put you in the box seat for the job on a permanent basis, do you think?
I haven't put my hand up for the job yet, or to go through the process. No, I spoke about this at the press conference during the week, that I'll take a little bit of time, and I'm mindful that I've said that previously, and that decision's getting closer. But post that press conference, my sole focus has been on tonight. So can I shout out our coaching group too? Like, I'm sitting up here talking about me, but our coaching group's doing a great job. Ash Hansen, Lee Adams, Timmy Clark, Geordie Russell down on the bench, and our development crew, they're doing an incredible job. So they've been enormous for us.
When are you going to put more thought into whether you're going to put your hand up for the children?
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, this week I'll come to a decision. I'm really enjoying the opportunity. My aim at the start of this was to help the club move forward. I feel like in this process I'm learning so much about myself. I'm almost convinced that you're never a finished product in terms of being ready. So, but I'm open-minded how I keep getting better with this. But yeah, I'll have to make a decision soon.
Does a result like tonight change anything in your mind?
No, and I'd love to think that the win-loss column doesn't determine anything anyway. I'd like to think it's more about process and what we're doing, and wins are great, but we've got work in front of us.
If you were to put your head in the ring, could you have done a better job, do you think, in terms of could you put a better foot forward in the last 11 weeks than what you've done?
Oh, there's things I could have done better, of course. Yeah, that's absolutely. And that's part of this opportunity. I'm really grateful to have it, because you do get a chance to sit in the chair and reflect a little bit, and I'll be better placed at the end of this opportunity. But we've still got work to do. We've got Saints next week in a big game.
Probably tell your players to seize the moment in games. Kind of similar situation for you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I haven't thought too much about that, but we'll see what the next couple of days brings.
In our 10th, you've essentially got your destiny's in your own hands now, which is a great position to be in. Is that, I guess, one of the more pleasing aspects of tonight's game? It's essentially, your 10th is your spot to lose now from the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, we've done such a good job at not being outcome focused, and we've been process driven. And I'm a believer that we don't need to look too far ahead. We acknowledge the opportunity that's in front of us, but we've got to prepare well for St Kilda. That's what it is. We're not in a position to look too far ahead. Tonight was fantastic for so many reasons, but that doesn't guarantee that turns up next week. So looking forward to training Tuesday. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
Well, all the speculation about will Josh Fraser go for the job? Does he want the job? All that's going to come to an end this week, because he just said then he will make a call this week. That's been the rumblings the last couple of days, and there we go. He's addressed it once again. So we can finally probably stop speculating this week, Jay. He'll probably be in the race. Is that your gut feel?
And thank God for that, Kath, to be honest, because he'd be a good opening batsman. He certainly plays a good straight battle. He's got a midweek press conference, doesn't he? So you'd think by then he'd needs an answer. By the back end of the week, he'll be in the prep for St Kilda. So you'd think over the next 48, 72 hours, he'll have an answer. And we'd be shocked if it's no at this point. As we said, 9 out of 11 wins. This footy club's humming. Surely he puts his hand up.
Well, I think fascinating that he said tonight's result doesn't change the way he is potentially taking the job. But for me, it changes the way Carlton think about him. They have to see now that this is a man who's got this group in as good of a position as it's been for a long time. Just the sense in this room, you just feel like this is a club that is stronger and it's together at the moment as well.
Can you remember the Teague train? It wasn't like this. There was hysteria, there was carry-on, but the actual profile of how they were playing wasn't to this level. Like, this is different.
Have you gone back and looked at the numbers?
I did. I had a look at the Teague train, and their attacking numbers weren't as good as what they are now, and their defensive numbers. It's almost like they won in different ways under David Teague. They're winning with method tonight that we haven't seen before. Their ball movement blew me away.
The key indicator, Graham Wright said in an interview in the early part of the season, is are we going to play a modern game style? And that is the ball movement, and the strong defence. But are we going to be able to score and keep up with the top teams? That is what they're doing. If Michael Voss couldn't, Josh Fraser is showing he can.
Can I ask a simple, short answer as you can give? Do you give him the job?
I think he has to go through the process.
Do you give him the job?
I'll answer it, yes.
Do you give him the job?
Yeah, on this evidence, I don't see how you can't.
Would you give him the job?
I would, 100%. I think he's done a fantastic job in trying circumstances.
Do you think he would be the front runner for the job?
He's not going to answer it.
I'm just trying to get him to
Chris
answer
Davies
my
is just over there. I might try and go. Chris, Josh got
Annika Wells over there.
I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Can you answer the question from time to time? Bloody hell. Let's get on to the other footy action. I do love your work, Jay.
Normal.
Let's get to what happened in Launceston. You were keeping a close eye on this. King Kong, it was Hawthorn by 16 points. In the end, Nick Watson kicked an equal career best of 5 goals, but they were pushed all the way, the Hawks. The Roos really came to play.
They played some pretty good footy, the Kangas, and they just ran into an opposition that was just too good. In the end, just too good across the ground. The Wizard kicked 5. He kicked them in different ways. The Kangaroos just made some really poor errors, and they capitalised. But they were in the fight for a long time, Kat. More of that, and I think the Kangaroo fans are pretty happy. But the Hawks, they did the job. They just got to keep ticking.